I have a problem, Pop.
If you didn't, you wouldn't live in this house.
Must be tough being a father. Everyone comes to you with the problems, you have to have all the answers. I don't think I could handle it.
Stop trying to win me over, just tell me the problem.
I got fired today.
What?
Now, don't get excited, don't get crazy, just let me tell you what happened.
What'd you do? You came in late? Were you fresh to somebody? Were you fresh to somebody?
I'm not fired yet. I can still get my job back. I just need you to help me make a decision.
Take it back. I don't care what it is. Now's not the time for anybody to be out of work in this family.
When I was 12 years old, you gave me a talk about principles. Do you remember that?
All night you waited to tell me this news.
This is about principles, Pop.
How long were you going to go without telling me?
Will you at least hear my principles?
All right. I'll hear your principles. Then you'll hear mine.
Just sit back and let me tell you what happened. It was on account of Andrew, the colored guy who sweeps up.
Hi, I'm Cody Estel, and I'm directing Brighton Beach Memoirs. Brighton Beach Memoirs is the story of Eugene Morris Jerome, who is a 15-year-old boy growing up in Brooklyn. He is also the narrator. He takes us through the story and is highlighting on his experiences growing up in his house.
Eugene is probably one of the most happy characters I've played. I feel like he's kind of carefree and not dumb because he's good at school, but like he's naive. The other fun parts I would say probably with Eugene mostly are with his mother, who treats him kind of like a dirty rag.
I'm pretty much the matriarch of the family. I take care of everybody. Even though my sister lives with us with her 2 children, she's not, I am the one in control in the household. And I feel like she feels like that's her responsibility. I also think that she probably isn't extremely nice to her youngest son, Eugene. And that's mostly because I think because he's the youngest, he just gets blamed for everything.
Yells at him, screams at him, tells him to go clean up his room, pretty much. I don't think she has like one really nice line to him throughout the entire play. She like, even if like Eugene hadn't really done anything wrong, she still didn't treat him very well. My mother knew I was writing all this down. She would stuff me like one of her chickens. You better explain what she meant by my Aunt Blanche's situation. Okay, you see, her husband, Uncle Dave, died 6 years ago from this thing. They never say the word, they only whisper it. It was cancer. They think they're afraid that if they said it out loud, God would say, I heard that, you said the dread disease. Just for that, I smite you down with it. Some things that grown-ups just won't discuss. For example, my grandfather, he died of diphtheria. Anyway, after Uncle Dave died, he left Aunt Blanche with no money, not even insurance. And she couldn't support herself because she has asthma. So my big-hearted mother insisted we take on our kids and to live with us. Me and my brother Stan live on this side, and Lori and his sister Nora live on the other. My father thought it would only be temporary, but it's been 3.5 years so far. And I think because of my Aunt Blanche's situation, my father is developing high blood pressure.
Directing Brighton Beach has been a thrill, and I think that this play in particular is one of my favorite Neil Simon plays, because it is rooted in a sense of honesty, and it's not the typical Neil Simon play where it plays for jokes. It's more about the situations that are happening within the family.
Okay, here goes. I'm gonna be in a Broadway show! It's a musical called Abracadabra. This man, Mr. Beckman, he's a producer. Came to our dancing class this afternoon and picked out 3 girls. We have to be at the Hudson Theater on Monday morning at 10 o'clock to audition for the dance director. But on the way out, he took me aside and told me the job was as good as mine. I have to call him tomorrow. I may have to go into town to talk to him about it. They start rehearsing a week from Monday, and from there, it goes to Philadelphia, Wilmington, and Washington, and then it comes to New York the 2nd week in December. There are 9 big musical numbers, and there's gonna be a big tank on stage that you can see through, and the big finale all takes place with the entire cast all underwater. I mean, can you believe it? I'm gonna be in a Broadway show, Mama!
What is she talking about? Do I know? Am I her mother?
How can you be in a show? Don't you have to sing and act?
I can sing.
No, you can't.
A little.
No, you can't.
Well, I can carry a tune.
No, you can't.
Well, what do you know? You never seen a Broadway show?
Did you tell him how old you were?
He didn't ask me.
He didn't ask if you were 16?
He just asked me to audition. My God, isn't anybody excited?
They're always, kind of yelling at each other, and they're like a noisy, loud New York Jewish family, and that I think lends itself to comedy.
It brings up issues such as there's a war raging in Europe. The Depression is in full swing.
So they don't have a lot of money, and it's still kind of a simple time, though, where there's no technology. There's not even television yet.
They don't have like internet or TV or anything, so I guess it kind of makes sense that he doesn't know a lot of these things. Even though the outlying subtext is there of these factual issues that are going on within the time, it's also a 15-year-old's look at this story, and he looks at it in a comedic way, and I think that the comedy comes from the situations that the family gets in within the play.